Hi. So, imagine this. You live in a world where almost everyone you know is on Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp. And all of that is owned by one company, Meta. But here is the surprising part. This entire empire started with a 19-year-old college student who got rejected and decided to get even. Let me take you back to the year 2003, Harvard University. There's a student named Mark Zuckerberg sitting in his dorm room, and he's not happy. He has just been turned down by a girl. So he does what any very unreasonable person would do. He hacks into Harvard's computer system, pulls photos of female students, and builds a website called FaceMash, a site where people can vote on who is more attractive. The result? Over 22,000 votes in just 2 days, before Harvard shuts it down and nearly expels him. But here's what really matters. Mark learns something important. He can build something that people simply cannot stop using. And that lesson will one day be worth nearly $2 trillion. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. After the FaceMash incident, some senior students approach Mark. They want help building a social network called Connect You. Mark agrees, and then quietly builds his own version instead. In February 2004, Mark Zuckerberg, along with Chris Hughes, Dustin Moskovitz, and Eduardo Saverin, launches the Facebook, right from a dorm room. At first, it is simple, an online directory where Harvard students can find each other, and it's only for Harvard. That exclusivity, people love it. By the end of 2004, the platform crosses over 1 million users from a dorm room. That's insane. Around this time, a man named Sean Parker shows up, the same person behind Napster. He connects Mark to investor Peter Thiel, who writes a check for $500,000. With that money, Mark moves to Palo Alto, California, drops out of Harvard, and never looks back. Now things start getting interesting. By 2006, Facebook opens to anyone with an email address, not just college students. And that same year, they launch the news feed. People hate it. They think it's creepy. They protest. They even create groups against it. But Mark doesn't back down. He keeps it. And within weeks, everyone is addicted. The news feed becomes the heartbeat of Facebook. Then comes a big moment. Yahoo offers to buy Facebook for $1 billion. Everyone says take it. Mark says no. People think he's crazy. He's not. By 2007, Facebook surpasses MySpace and becomes the world's biggest social platform. In 2012, Facebook goes public, raises $16 billion, valued at over $100 billion. Mark is just 28 years old. But the biggest moves are still ahead. Mark sees the future. It's mobile, and Facebook is not ready. Then he notices a small app growing very fast, especially among young people: Instagram. In 2012, Facebook buys Instagram for about $1 billion. People think it's ridiculous. No revenue, just 13 employees. But it becomes one of the greatest deals in tech history. And he's not done. In 2014, Facebook buys WhatsApp for about $19 billion. Again, people think he's lost his mind. But WhatsApp has hundreds of millions of users, especially outside the United States. Mark is thinking global, not just a company, but the internet for the world. That same year, he spends $2 billion on a virtual reality company, Oculus. Most people have never even heard of it. Then things get complicated. In 2018, a whistleblower reveals something serious. Facebook user data was shared without consent to a firm called Cambridge Analytica. This data was used to influence elections around the world. Suddenly, Facebook is no longer just fun. It's being accused of harming democracy. Mark appears before the United States Congress, and the hearings do not go well.
At the same time, Facebook's algorithm is exposed. It promotes content that spreads hate and conspiracy theories. Why? Because more clicks mean more ads, and more ads mean more money. This damages the company's reputation deeply. So, what do you do when your brand becomes controversial? You change the name. On October 28, 2021, Mark announces Facebook is now called Meta. He introduces a bold idea, the metaverse, a virtual world where people live, work, and socialize as digital avatars. He invests billions, fully committed. But the metaverse struggles. By 2022, Meta loses $13.7 billion in a single year. Adoption is low. The experience feels outdated. The stock crashes. People start asking, has Mark lost his direction? But here's the thing about Mark. He adapts. He sees the rise of artificial intelligence and pivots quickly. He invests heavily in AI, launches Meta AI across platforms, and suddenly, the company recovers. By 2025, Meta's apps connect over 3.5 billion people every single day. The company is valued again at nearly $2 trillion. So, here's the full story. A student gets rejected, builds a website out of emotion, drops out of college, turns down $1 billion offer, makes bold, risky bets, faces massive criticism, fails, recovers, and comes back stronger. And something tells me this story is far from over. So stay tuned.